Hi, welcome to my walkthrough of the Redwood SDK Full Stack Application tutorial. Redwood SDK is a React framework project starter kit, and it's integrated with Cloudflare, and they give you database, authentication, and deployment kind of all in one thing. I walked through this whole tutorial on their website, the Redwood SDK website, walked through the whole tutorial, and now I'm going back and I'm doing each section in a video. I'm doing this partly to just document for myself and anyone else who find this useful. I think my next Tinker projects will definitely be built using Redwood SDK. I kind of like how it gives me everything I want, and it kind of gives you a lot of the boilerplate setup for you, which I have actually found kind of fun in a way. It's like really you're just playing with Legos. So let's play with Legos. The first thing is let's show you the front of the box. What are you going to get out of this Lego box? We're going to build this. They call it Applywise, is their website where you're going to log your job applications. So you'll have a login screen, you'll have listings, and you can add a job application. You'll have contacts, yada yada yada. This is my after I did the whole thing, I pushed to Cloudflare, and so you can see it's live. I did every step, and it works. Their tutorial works. Thankfully, today is August 26th of 2025. Who knows when it'll stop working, but right now the tutorial is nice because it actually works. And so you can see all the functionality. We can edit our application, update, cancel, go back to our dashboard. I can log in, log out. Very cool. Very cool. All right. We're going to skip the project setup because you just need to make sure you go to Cloudflare, get an account set up, get Node.js on your machine. And that's really all you need, actually. Well, you need like npm because we're going to npm install everything. So yeah, Cloudflare, Node, npm, and then you're good. Now you can go to creating the application. So first step in creating application, we're going to follow these steps they have laid out for us. So I've got my terminal here. We are in my Redwood SDK folder on my machine. We're going to go npx create RWSDK. Let's call it video one. Wait for that to load. Okay, that went kind of fast. Now let's go cd, go into directory one, video one, and then we will do our npm install. This will take a little longer. Now I could maybe go get a drink of water or something. Okay, npm did its install. Now let's run npm run dev to see what it looks like on our machine. All right, so npm run dev did its thinking. Now it's at localhost 5173. Let's go to localhost 5173 in our browser. Look at that, we've got a login page. User login, login passkey, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Let's go back to our, oh, it says we should see hello world. So let's just show you that. Look at that. Tutorial that is working so far. What a cool thing. All right, so it gives you, let's go to let's see what it just did. Yeah, I trust the authors. All right, so video one, this is all the files. This is the project that setting up our project just made. So got source app, pages, user, login. This is the login page. Get the frick out of here. Login page that we saw. It's got some route stuff, but really it's this not Wrangler, it's the worker. Where's the worker? Worker TSX is like where it's actually gonna hit all of our routes. So this is where we're kind of start from the worker TSX and then you work your way down from there. It takes document. Where's document? Document, app document. This is document.tsx. So we'll put some header, we'll do some stuff with document TSX for like style header tags. Anyways, you can familiarize yourself with all the stuff. It's basically gives you like everything out of the box, but it doesn't hide anything, which I like. So there's a lot here. There's all these migrations and schema, Prisma, and these login user pages and links.ts and all this stuff. Um, but it actually, as you go through the tutorial, it kind of tells you what all these things are for. So we will learn as we go. So first thing is we're going to use for our styling, we're going to start setting up our styling, and we're going to use Tailwind. So we're going to install Tailwind into this project. Yikes. Why did it do that? Can I freaking do that? Okay, Tailwind installed, and now it says config the Vite plugin, configure the Vite plugin. So let me just copy all their stuff. Let's go to Vite config. We are replacing, we're adding Tailwind into here, adding Tailwind into there. All right, save that. Okay, then we're going to do a styles.css. We're going to go source apps. We're going to create source app styles.css. So let's go source app, and then new folder. We can call it styles.css. And then it wanted us to import Tailwind into the top of that file. Then it also wanted us to add the styles imports to our document.tsx. That's like the root HTML document for our app. So let's go to our document.tsx, and we're going to make room for our import statement at the top. Grab this, import our CSS file, and then we will, in the head tag, add this link style sheet. So within the head tag, our link style sheet, save that. And now, when you do npm run dev, let's see. When we go to our login page, we should not see these buttons. We should see just text based on what we did with CSS styling. So then we go to user login. Great, we are following the tutorial so far. Great success. And you can test this out even further. So you can go to your login.tsx, your pages user login, and you can add this little YOLO. Cool, red YOLO. That's fun. Very original. Where was that? Login.tsx. And let's add it right at the top. Save that. And you know what's so cool? Hot reload, baby. Look at that. It's already there. Just sitting there. Make any change. It'll just be there. Really cool. Remember, our dev server is running. All right, custom fonts. This is going to say to go to Google Fonts, get pop-ins and enter, follow some steps. Honestly, you can do all that. At the end, the tutorial is going to give us what you're going to do is you're going to follow these steps on Google Fonts. It's going to give you this URL to put into your import statement. And I'm just going to take it from the tutorial right here. So go to our styles, and right above the import, we're now importing the fonts into our style sheet. But before it will, oh yeah, actually, we'll do this after. Okay, so then the next step is add some theme to our styles. Okay, themes in. Then we have to let, in our headers TS file, we have to let the content security policy know that we are okay with Google Font APIs, right there. So I'm going to take this little block, copy, go to our headers, TS, and then I'm gonna replace what I just copied right here. There's response, headers, set, content security policy, replace it. Now it'll have the Google API fonts in there. So now our app will get the fonts. Okay, and then we're going to set up some custom color palette. So within our theme block of our CSS file, I will copy these colors, go to our styles, drop them into the theme. My editor doesn't have the little color samples. You should probably get that. It's kind of cool. It's very helpful. Okay, so next thing is we're going to make sure our custom colors are working. So on our login page, we're going to change our React fragment to this BG class name. So going to login, and then at the top, instead of this fragment, we're going to replace it with the main with the class name BG. And then at the bottom React snippet, or JSX snippet, fragment, change it to a main. So now you have a main surrounding the whole login JSX. Hit save, and voila, we have colors. Do they match? They do match. Sweet, we are following the tutorial. Okay, next thing is we're going to use ShadCN UI components. So we're not going to build our own buttons. We're going to use ShadCN's buttons. So we're going to import ShadCN into our install into our project. Let's get out of here. Okay, npx ShadCN latest. Let this install. We're going to go ahead and go OK with neutral, so hit enter. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bunch of components from ShadCN, but before we do that, we need to update our components JSON file. So these aliases, I'm going to copy. This is to let ShadCN know where to put. We want our components in our components UI folder. So we go to components JSON, highlight aliases, replace with our code, save. Now we can go to back to our terminal and do add latest, npx latest add, hit enter, and then it's going to give us all these components. It's going to give a big long list, and we're going to select these ones. These are the ones that this tutorial uses. So it says you can do it a down arrow actually, and then you'll hit spacebar to select. So the first thing we want is an alert. So hit space over alert. See, it turns it green. And then we want avatar, then badge, breadcrumb, button, calendar, dialog, popover, select, Piper no, sheet, Sonner, table. And then I'll hit enter. That's all of them. So now it'll actually, we will see in our project folder, we'll have a file for each of these components that are now, they'll be React components for us. Okay, so we've got all these you see here, all these React components. Then next, and then this is saying, hey, restart your dev server. Well, I turned it off anyway to do all my imports, so now we can just hit npm run dev. But actually, before I do that, I know that I'm going to have to change one thing about where it puts stuff. This tutorial says, hey, put the library that's now there with the utils, put it in app. It imported it into source. We need to drop it into app. I'll show you. So here's our source. Here's our app. This library with the utils, we need this inside of app. So I'm just gonna boop, move it into app. Now we can hit npm run dev, and our site should be working as the tutorial expects it to work. Blah, blah, blah. Basically what they're saying is we're gonna create our own date picker component. by using a combination of shadcn's popover and calendar components. So we're going to create a new folder within app components UI and call it datepicker.tsx. So, okay, our dev server is running and the site looks like it wants to run. So now we've got our components, UI, new file, datepicker.tsx, and then tutorial, add the following codes. The tutorial gives us all the code for that date picker component. Get out of here, Microsoft. So let's copy that, date picker, drop it in, save it. Okay, and they're just telling you right here that they changed stuff. They changed stuff, but your file that we just dropped in is okay. This is all just kind of information. So now we want to see these buttons. Right now we have kind of no button. We want to see these buttons. And how you do that is we're going to import our shadcn UI. We're going to import our UI button into our login page, and then we will reference it in the JSX. So let's go back to login at the very top. Let's, yeah, I just did all of that. Okay, import button. So importing our UI button from shadcn, and then at the bottom JSX here, it's telling us in the tutorial, hey, change all your button references. Kind of has one hidden. Change all your button references in the JSX to be our new button here. So we go to login. We see we've got button opening tag. Change that to a capital B. So I'm about that. Okay, and then all these buttons. There's 2 buttons here. Opening, closing tags. So that's 4 tags total. Changed all those. See, boom, 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 boom. Save it. And then we should have these login buttons. Look at that. Those are login buttons. Very nice. Okay, so that is the project setup. Next thing is database setup. So stay tuned, subscribe for part 2, where we will do database setup. Thank you for tagging along.